second. So as usually, the start of the transition to YouTube takes some time. Okay, now I see we are live. And welcome everyone. I see that there are already 20 people watching us in live stream in YouTube. And this is our first since ScaleSwap IDO, our first, as we call it, community talk, community meeting with ScaleSwap founders. So of course we have here Ralf Gertes, ScaleSwap co-founder and CEO. Hi, Ralf.
Hello to all.
And we have here Stan Stolberg, who is a ScaleSwap co-founder and CTO. Hi, Stan.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, and as usually, I'm here hosting the thing and making it a little bit fun. Guys, we promised you interactive session where you can get the answers to all your questions, where we can present you our recent developments, our recent updates with the ScaleSCORE, with the tech, with the multi-chain integration, etc., etc., etc. But to make it mostly efficient, and I see already a lot of questions in the chat, which started even earlier than we started the live stream. Guys, I'm super grateful for you for sending these questions. I see that you are anticipating this discussion. But let's first maybe start with the brief presentation or overview from the founder side of what has happened recently with our developments, updates. What updates do we have for you? So we will share some information with you that maybe already will answer some of your questions. And then definitely, I promise you, we will go to the questions on the chat and reply to, well, as many of your questions as we can, okay? So Ralf, and by the way, guys, you know, when we post something or when we plan the online events or something like that, we are always like guessing what time would be more comfortable for our community. So please drop me in the live chat what countries are you from, so that we at least have some understanding of what time zones you are in, etc., etc. Thanks in advance. Guys, who want to start? Stan or Ralf? Who wants to start with the updates?
Biggest updates on technical side, so
yeah,
I leave it to Stan.
I can put this on my shoulders. So guys, a lot has happened within ScaleSwap, and for us it's like, you know, it's like 3-4 lives what we are living in these several months since we are live. We started, as you know, in July. We host for now four, right, IDOs. Next is the 5s, and every IDO was a big learning for us because, as you know, blockchain is new technology, and we do research and development during the building the product. It's very important to understand for you. It's not like we are doing some boring corporate applications. It's really something new what we are developing. It's new for you as users, but it's also new for the ecosystem. And one of the, let's say, challenging thing here is just that some things are not really working like expected. And in very first iteration of ScaleSwap, we had meta transactions as our way to participate in IDOs. It means that via a relayer, so-called relayer network, you could participate on the IDO being on Ethereum on layer 1, where the IDO was hosted on Polygon as layer 2. This is very nice and cool idea, but unfortunately it worked not so smooth as we expected. This was, let's say, what we found out in the several first IDOs what we hold. Therefore, the decision was made, and we moved to the, let's say, to the direct flow. That means that every time you participate directly on the blockchain where the pool is hosted. For example, tomorrow pool of Art Wallet will be hosted on Phantom blockchain. So you will be directly on the Phantom blockchain, interacting with the pool. Well, the good thing about our, let's call this ScaleSwap version 2 is first that we made this very easy for you to add the next blockchains like Phantom. You just need to click and your MetaMask will add the network automatically. And the next good thing is that we also airdrop some Phantom native coins for participating on the pool, which are enough not only for participating on the pool, but also for claiming later from the pool. That being said, we use, in this case, Phantom really as layer 2 applications, layer 2 solution. You don't need to worry about anything. You just need to have your participation tokens in form of Ether, which you can really easily breach to Phantom, and you get wrapped Ether on Phantom. Well, the wrapped Ether on Phantom is also sometimes called Ether. It's very, very funny story with this wrapped Ether and Ether. But anyway, we provided you in the guide how to breach your asset for participation. Very easy. And you got from us already an airdrop of Phantom tokens. So nothing holds you on from participation. I am just, just speaking more about tomorrow's IDO because we are all in this process now and trying to make smooth for you. Later on, I can also, if somebody is interested, I can also elaborate a bit about a general roadmap.
Amazing, thank you, Stan. And let's make it clear once and for all. Previously, guys, previously there were some breakups, etc., in the system, some tech bugs. And Stan, did I understand you correctly that most of them were because we tried to have this super advanced UX UI functionality to make it super simple for our users not to switch between blockchains, right?
A kind of, Nelly. So the big vision was you are very, very, let's say, not techie user. You are sitting in front of your MetaMask and you can just participate on layer 2 IDO. This was, let's say, the big vision. But the technology is not there to be. So we are working on this, by the way. During our work with meta transactions, we researched on some things and we found and we improved also many things. And it might be that at some point in time, we return also this functionality for, let's call this mainstream adoption. But the good point is that majority, or I would even say most of our users don't have any problems with this flow like it is, because it's very easy also. It's just, you just need to have native tokens. That's the main difference. For example, if you are on Phantom blockchain, in order to participate on the pool on Phantom blockchain, you have to have the native tokens of Phantom. And we made it easy because we airdrop these tokens. Therefore, for the user, not too big or nothing too big changed, too much changed. Yeah.
And when the tokens, some native Phantom tokens will be distributed to our community?
Already
done. So guys in the live chat who are watching us right now, let us know if you see these Phantom tokens on your MetaMask right now, if you already did followed the instructions that you have in our guide published in Medium. And I will drop you the link in the live chat to this guide. So one more time, you have the link and you can check it out. So please share in the comments if you see these Phantom tokens in your MetaMask already, if you followed the instructions and if everything is clear for you right now. And Ralf, Stan, let me share with you the replies on the previous question from our community. So where are our dear community members from? So we have here people from Vietnam, from Luxembourg, from India, Russia, India again, India, Sweden, France in Cyprus, and Nepal. So really from many different regions, as you can see. 30 people are watching us right now. Stan, thanks a lot for this update. And the short question also here, I think Yelena was asking, when we will be able to participate in the IDOs with stable coins like USDT, USDC, not with wrapped ETH?
Let's put it like this. Technically, it could be already possible, but it's a bit more complicated. It all depends also on the projects themselves. Because you need to understand we are technology provider, right, for the project. So we do not really do something instead of projects. Projects are using our technology for IDO. And therefore, it's a sense of the project to define this business, let's say, what they need more. And before it was Ether, and not the worst asset, I would say, in the blockchain space, but it could be that in some point in time we will also, or some project will also require stable coins, let's say. But what do you think, Ralf?
Yeah. Absolutely. Can only agree. So, yeah, it's also a joint decision together with the projects at the end, which currency is at the end used in the IDO pool. And by the way, this is also maybe to extend that questions a little bit. Because there are also quite a lot of discussions around private pool, public pool, and the split, how much is public, how much is private. This is not always our decision, as Stan said. We are a technology provider. What we can do is advise the projects, but they are basically using our platform. And the final decision is also with them. They are the owners of the pools, and not we. But we always try to work very closely together with every project in an individually tailored way. That's very important for us. So no project is for us just mass market. We really are in close touch, and therefore we also receive from every IDO so far very positive testimonials. But at the end we advise, we try always to bring them on the path that is also the best for our community. One time we are more successful, but the other time they have a little bit different expectations. But I think we always find the best compromise that's possible.
Indeed. And by the way, good news, I see that the community already received these phantom tokens on their wallets. So already Stefan, Richard,
nice.
Patrick, guys confirmed that they see their phantom tokens on the MetaMask. So if anyone does not see them, then guys, you should check if you installed the proper Phantom blockchain on your MetaMask, and if you added the Phantom token to your MetaMask. I guess the guide written by Stan will really help you to do it. And Rashid was asking about if the doggy will be barking today. So no, because I got Bones here, and if he will disturb our conversation, I will shut him up with this bone. Yeah. So Ralf, Stan, do you want to present anything else to the community from your side, or we will switch to the Q&A right now?
I would maybe add one more thing, because we already touched that topic, Phantom, So I want to emphasize that we are by tomorrow, or we are by today, multi-chain. So Polygon and Phantom. It is only the very beginning. So our plans are pretty aggressive in that way. On the one hand, on the other hand, there will also be a community involvement in decision making, which further chains we will integrate So we will release more information about that very soon. And with the technology that we at the moment have, we will be able to implement chains faster than most likely all other launch pads. And we can overtake them in a comparably short period of time. But yeah, we definitely involve the community also in this decision. And our target is that we have a really broad multi-chain integration, that we also can attract the best projects of the new and upcoming protocols that are native on these chains. So this will bring, this will also have a very positive influence on the deal flow in future.
Yeah.
Adding on this, we are speaking here at the beginning of about EVM blockchains, so Ethereum compatible blockchains.
Yeah.
But we are also looking on other blockchains like Solana and Polkadot with other, let's say, languages. And this is all in plans. So we are working on this very hard. And let's say the new flow, what you experience is, yeah, it's a product of work of the team of, yeah, 1 month, even more. But as Ralf said, cool things to come, new blockchains to come. Stay tuned here.
Amazing. And here we go then to the questions, yeah, from the community. And by the way, there are a lot of questions about the roadmap, and I'm sure that you have a lot to share there. But let's also start with the first questions. And Rashid was the first one who came to the live chat even before we started, very well prepared for this conversation. So he's asking, do the ScaleSCORE implementation is fully finalized? I noted sometimes minor bugs on the board or hold tokens of IDO that I have participated.
Well, I expected this would be the topic of our AMA and the most frequent question. Let's put it like this: ScaleSCORE is not the most simple system what we have in the world, especially given the fact it's all on blockchain. With not simple, I mean rather getting the data, not calculating the ScaleSCORE, getting the data for calculating the ScaleSCORE. Because there are a lot of parameters, right? Holding period. For example, imagine a wallet with many transactions, and we need to fetch from this wallet holding periods of some tokens. Sometimes it produces delays, and we don't get the information, for example. Because in the blockchain, just to remind you, this is not a corporate structure with service level agreements where we agree with all nodes to be 99 uptime and so on and so on. This is not the case. And from there, from the decentralized nature of blockchain, some bugs occurred. But I can tell you that for now, since the last IDO, the state of ScaleSCORE is pretty completed. All the issues we got reported, all the issues we had to look, we didn't find a real issue. It's all according to our proposed calculation of ScaleSCORE, what we also published in the ScaleSCORE manual. Let's call it like this. Another question is if it remains the same. This is another question, and here I think the right approach is to work with you, with the community very hardly together, because we are going to the direction of DAO. Therefore, we need to work with you to find out together what is the most best, what is the fairest way to, let's say, to change the ScaleSCORE. So to recap to the question, yes, ScaleSCORE is calculating correctly now. And also, yes, we are already thinking about some updates to the ScaleSCORE system as a system. Yeah.
And by the way, speaking about updates for the ScaleSCORE, guys, scroll in the live chat, please. I dropped you the link to the Google form that we created in order to collect community feedback regarding ScaleSCORE, because in the chat, you are very proactive and we are grateful for that. You always share a lot of valuable feedback, insights, thoughts about ScaleSCORE and different dimensions and how to improve it and so on and so forth. And you also send us a lot of private messages in Telegram that we appreciate a lot. But please consider that it's impossible for a human being to digest all this information spread around various channels and in these very fast changing Telegram messages. So would really appreciate if you take your time, a couple of minutes. You can open this link and answer the questions after we finish today. But if you take the couple of minutes later on and share your feedback and your inputs about the ScaleSCORE development and any other things you would like to share with us.
Maybe I can anticipate a very often asked question. I hold external launch tokens like from Ore, from Cyrus, but my ScaleSCORE don't increase. Why? So we saw these kind of questions very often, maybe 5 to 7 of these issues submitted. The main reason is that you need to hold at least $50 worth of these projects tokens to the price of their IDO. And I assume that some of you just look at the current price and buy so many tokens that they are not enough, let's say, to the IDO price. This is the main reason. Please look on this one more time.
And maybe also to mention, in the original version, we had the value of $100. But because it's pegged to that IDO price, we reduced that to 50, because it's possible that a project makes a lot of X, and then it's getting, it can get expensive to do that later on. So this is at the moment the current setup.
Yeah. And yeah.
Okay, thank you guys for your inputs here. Then coming back to the community questions, Donny is asking, hey team, can you please update where we are with the roadmap at ScaleSwap? As per the roadmaps, we should already have these features ready, like swap, pool, drop, liquid, but they are not also a tier 1 SEX.
Oh, I mean,
listing on a tier 1 central exchange. We also had
okay.
Do you want to, maybe I can just drop some words about technology part of things.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
We prefer better to get a good product, what is working, and it's really working very nicely, very smoothly. Like we get a lot of positive feedback, instead of rushing and developing products which will simply not work and frustrate users. Therefore, you're completely right. We are maybe a bit delayed with the roadmap like we had at the very beginning, but in my opinion, it's nothing too bad for a startup. We, unfortunately, because we were so busy with all of the things what you are experiencing now, we could not or we didn't have time to update the roadmap. This is the only reason. The roadmap, internal roadmap, is already updated, let's say several weeks, but we could not have time to make to transfer this to the website. We will definitely do this within next 1 till 2 weeks. And furthermore, we are also planning to to speak with you, with community, about the roadmap. We will have the roadmap publicly, most probably where you can comment this, so that, for example, we will have several features and you will be able to comment, okay, do I want this feature? Do I like this feature? Or maybe we should focus something else? Because everything what we are doing, of course, not for ourselves, but for you. Therefore, it's very, very important point on the technology side. We will definitely publish a public roadmap where you can comment.
Yeah, or some community voting where you can also help us to prioritize the roadmap milestones and, for example, regarding implementation of new features or new blockchains integration and so on and so forth. So absolutely happy, guys, to hear her input here and to understand what you think would be the best way. So Suraj is asking about SCA utility. Can you please talk more in details about SCA utility? Maybe Ralf can give some input here.
Right. Due to the fact that we are having our ScaleSCORE, it works a little bit different than other blockchain projects and other launchpads. So the main utility is not determined by the simple amount of tokens that is granting you some tier levels and stuff like this. But the plan was to make that by far more fair in packing that into a loyalty system. And with this, it's also by far less budget dependent. So it's not only for the whales, let's say, who can reach a level where they can have a certain influence and also guaranteed pool participations in the private pools. But it should be the most loyal people. Still, there is some money involved, let's say, but not to an extent than at our competitors. So ScaleSCORE and everything what ScaleSCORE can grant to you, this is the main utility of our token. And we will also increase the level of community interaction, participation, and also decision. So this is also something what will be, we started, let's say, also with these polls or votings for the candidates of the projects that can potentially launch on ScaleSwap. We will also continue that with the tech roadmap, as Stan said. We will also continue that with our multi-chain strategy. So the community will be asked, and it's a very important factor for us, which path we envision for the future. So therefore, the utility is very strongly interlinked with ScaleSCORE, guaranteed pool participations, the governance of ScaleSwap. We will, at a certain point in time, also have a liquidity provision program, which will be incentivized. So this is another element. We did not yet decide that we will have a staking program. We are more on the side of liquidity provision, where you can stake your LP tokens and receive according SCA remuneration. This is at the moment more on our plan. And then, it's also not a functionality, but the SCA tokens that we get as a fee from the projects that are launching on ScaleSwap. These tokens are burned. So this is also something to consider. We have a continuously decreasing total token supply. So it's not that huge, let's say, but with every IDO, the total token supply is decreasing. We also need to make some more efforts with the listing websites, CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko, that this information is always up to date. It's not yet. So it's not yet mirrored, let's say, live. But this is also a point which is a little bit forgotten. but it's also a built-in mechanism for us, and which has also a certain influence over time on the token.
Yeah, maybe small addition. Basically, the project what participate or what use our technology for conducting their IDO, they, let's say, buy and burn the token. So it's not like a real payment, let's say, to us.
Yeah, and we had this question in the live chat, if we have some burning mechanism. So guys, I hope that this answered your question. Yes, we have it. And one more time, making it clear for all that each and every startup that launches IDO on Scaleswap has to get some percentage of the IDO, 3%. It's quite transparent, and it is written on our website. 3% from the IDO amount they buy on DEX of SCA tokens worth this 3% of the IDO amount and burn them. We don't charge any hidden commissions. We don't charge them any, additional fees. And I don't want to drop the names here, but a lot of launchpads, they are hiding conditions, and they squeeze startups for allocations, for fees, for extra marketing fees, etc., etc. We are not that kind of launchpad. We are building the transparent and fair launchpad. Fair both for the IDO backers community and for the startups. And the more startups we have, the more these burning mechanics will have impact to our token performance and the circulating supply. So hope it could answer your questions.
And by the way, you can also burn. If you like, everybody can burn SCA. This functionality is built into the SCA smart contract, so it's just very simple.
Right. I just wanted to have a little more comment, because we are also emphasizing from day one to be as legal compliant as possible. We all know that we are in a certain gray zone overall in the whole DeFi space. But we don't make, for example, buyback and burn stuff, because this, is more than dark gray. But our burn mechanism is like this. You can see our token like a voucher that you can do, that you can purchase, that you are eligible to use our platform to execute your pool. And like with every other voucher, a voucher that you can enter the zoo, after entering the zoo, the voucher has no value and you are kicking it to the bin, And it's the same mechanism that if the pool was done, the voucher mechanism was satisfied, and therefore the burn mechanism is also legally, let's say, an absolute valid functionality. So it's for us also important for the mid and long term that that we're also legally safe, so that we can also that there is also the risk is as minimal as possible for our whole community, because if it starts that some government agencies, whatever regulators are looking into the IDO sphere, they are first looking at the ones where obvious things are happening, and we try to be there the most legally compliant IDO platform. And when we are implementing a function, we also think of the legal implications. So this is built in from day one.
So we are going to be the Kickstarter on blockchain, and therefore, in order to be Kickstarter, we need also the whole ecosystem.
Yeah, and just a small addition about community voting, guys. As Ralf mentioned, we had already a couple of several batches of startups from the pipeline, and we invited our community to vote in Telegram, and we will continue it. But we are also investigating now researching different solutions to organize community voting on blockchain, so that the it can be connected with your ScaleSCORE. Unfortunately, when we started researching it a month ago or even earlier, the tech side was not yet there. For example, Algorand, etc., they did not allow community voting on Polygon blockchain. And, you know, majority of our community SCA holders are on Polygon. But we keep an eye on all the new developments in this field. And if you know some great projects that have ready working solutions for blockchain voting on Polygon, please drop us the links and help us to find the good solution earlier. And then the next step will be also adding the utility to the SCA is the community voting for SCA holders. So those people who do not have SCA, they will not participate in the decision making of what startups to choose for the next IDOs. Let us know if you like this thing. And Ralf, you mentioned liquidity provision, etc. For example, Sanchit is asking, are there any plans to enable staking for SCA tokens and allowing community members to stake launched tokens without losing ScaleSCORE?
At the moment, we don't have concrete plans for our own token to have a staking mechanism. I know that it's very common in the whole DeFi field. Theoretically, it needs, it's also from a legal perspective, on the one hand, a little questionable. But we will see. But we did not yet 100% decide. But for now, we don't have concrete plans. We more think that, liquidity provision has by far more value for all sides. You know, you're also getting a reward, but you are also getting a reward for doing something, for providing liquidity. If you stake a token, the stake token is just dead. You know, so it's just locked away. But liquidity provision is actively providing value add to the SCA token. So therefore, we prefer to have incentivized liquidity provision. I know that it's a bit more complicated because you need to provide not only SCA tokens but also Ether in the liquidity pair. At the same percentage, but it's at the moment our path. We believe that there is more value in this direction.
And just small addition, the ScaleSCORE itself, it's of course not staking, right? But it's also a kind of system where what is time dependent, let's put it like this, or at some point also amount dependent. This system is already has already kind of functionality what you are requesting. Therefore, let's think about this also.
Yeah, and Stan, Ralf, just for your information, Suraj elaborated later on that other platforms give great advantages for IDO investors by staking program, farming, etc. But we can't stake our IDO tokens because of ScaleSCORE. Isn't it a main problem in the Scaleswap platform? So, Suraj, we hear your opinion, and you know what? We definitely want to know your opinion and the opinion of other users. As we said already, we will publish this voting, asking you to help us to prioritize the features. And if majority of our community decides that staking is #1 priority and everyone wants it, then we will definitely consider it seriously, right, guys?
Of course.
Right, but I think it's twofold. Huh? It's staking for SCA tokens, but on the other hand, it's also considering the staked tokens of the projects that launched on
in order not to lose a scale.
This is a bit more complicated, to be frank. Now technology comes inside because, as you can imagine, to look for all tokens which are staked in different pools on different blockchains in different systems like Uniswap, Unicrypt. It's really complicated. So it's at some point it's not possible, simply not possible, at least for now.
But on the other hand, we also tried to limit the entry barriers, you know, as low as possible. So it's not that much, let's say, that you need to fulfill, let's say, this ScaleSCORE dimension in full if you are early in the project. So if you're participating in the IDO, ideally on private side, then you have it guaranteed if your ScaleSCORE is high enough, or if you are getting the tokens from a decentralized exchange. The entry barrier is not huge, let's say. So even if you are participating in staking of project launch tokens, and you are just keeping the minimum what you need to have on Polygon side, for example, then it's still fulfilling the criteria for that dimension 100%. So you can split, let's say, your token holdings.
Mm-hmm. I see Yuva and Suraj are already sending us some proposals for the possible solutions for staking. So guys, for your information, I'm copying it from the live chat to our internal files in order not to lose your suggestions of different tools, and we will definitely research all this. Then Yelena is asking, if we keep more IDO project tokens, not $50, $100 of value, we will have a higher ScaleSCORE, right?
You mean more than
more than $50 or $100 of value?
Not directly, not directly. So we do not account how many tokens absolutely you hold of external projects. This is not accounted. We look rather how much of the max amount of token you ever had you still hold. For example, you got let's take Ore IDO. You have 1,000 tokens of Ore, right? You had this, and because you had this only for this Ore part of the dimension, you have the full ScaleSCORE. But once you, let's say, sell or you move out from this wallet 500 of the Ore tokens, you have only the 50% of maximum you ever hold. And here you will lose ScaleSCORE. So, and the same would be, it would be exactly the same if you hold 300 of Ore tokens and move 150. It should be only more than $50 worth to the IDO price. That's it. It does, the absolute account doesn't matter for now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you, Stan and Ralf. Then also, yeah, give me 1 second because there are so many questions. I'm trying to pick up those that I missed previously. And yeah, Donny, thank you very much. I just wanted to come back to your question, but you copied it again. So Donny is asking or even commenting, hey team, one of the main problem people facing now is IDOs happening in Matic, but some projects listing in other chains, mainly ETH. In this case, we need to pay so much fees in bridge. It is one point, yeah, from Donny. And the second point from Donny is, can you guys please avoid this by providing claim with same chain as listing?
Same chain as listing.
Yeah, so this is, for example, if we have a launch on Polygon, but there is no listing on QuickSwap or DeFi or something like this. So as said earlier, we are working very closely with the projects, and we also try to influence them always in that direction, that on the same chain we are also having the IDO pools, that also on the same chain they have a listing on a decentralized exchange. It did not work out for every IDO so far, but the chances with our multi-chain availability are getting now also better, that we are launching on the native chain of the projects. And with this, to have a DEX listing on the native chain, let's say, is always pretty high. So we try, it's at the end, again, the decision of the project, but we will try to avoid that situation that we launch on a chain and then there is no DEX listing afterwards on the same blockchain.
Speaking about tomorrow and Phantom, the Phantom Art Wallet project will officially release the strategy tomorrow, but as far as I heard, they plan DEX listing on Phantom directly, so it will be all fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think even 2 DEXs.
Even 2 DEXs, yes.
Yeah.
But basically, Art Wallet is really backed by Phantom.
I think even 3 DEXs, yeah, 2 Phantom DEXs and Pancake. So,
yeah, maybe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was also my latest status, yeah.
And plus, they will also list in Gate.io shortly after a listing on DEXs. So, guys, just one more time, and please don't get angry if I repeat things from one AMA to another AMA, but we receive so many also feedback from the community who was affected by scammers. And, you know, each and every visible IDO, visible project that makes great marketing, etc., they get affected by scammers. When we had Envelope IDO, I myself received a lot of messages from Envelope founders, and I was added to different Envelope groups which have nothing to do with real Envelope, yeah, and they post the links to purchase of their tokens in different DEXs. But you know, in DEX, everyone can create a pool for the token. Everyone can make another Art Wallet or token, Envelope token, a Scaleswap token, yeah, fake tokens. So please keep extra attention and stay tuned. Have a look at our official channels or official channels of the project. We will post all the links for the listings of Art Wallet on DEXs and on Gate.io after the IDO very shortly. As soon as we have the links from the project team, we will publish it in our resources, in our official channels. Please ignore all the other sources of information that can jump to your table. So this is important for everyone, yeah? We don't want you to spend your money on scammers.
Yep.
So coming back to the community questions, and guys, I'm so grateful that you prepared so many questions that it is even difficult to keep on track on an eye on what we already replied or not. So yeah, I think that...
Is there any question, Nelly, connected with a simulator, maybe ScaleSCORE?
No, no, there are no questions yet connected with simulator, but that's a good point, guys. I'm not sure if you really heard and understood that we have the simulator, which was developed by Stan and development team, where you can really not only see your current score, but also play around, because you ask usually a lot of questions in Telegram, how to improve your ScaleSCORE, how to increase it, and so on and so forth. And you know, recently we had a lot of new members, very proactive IDO backers joining our community, and they really work on their ScaleSCORE development, and therefore the competition becomes higher. So we made this simulator for you to make it very easy and visible to understand what can affect your ScaleSCORE and on what level. So you can play around and, for example, put different numbers on how many SCA tokens do you have, and then increase, for example, if you will have double the amount of SCA tokens you have right now, how it will affect your ScaleSCORE. If you will sell tokens, how it will affect your ScaleSCORE. If you provide liquidity for 2 weeks or for 4 weeks, how it will affect your ScaleSCORE. So it is really very handy tool. And I'm surprised you have no questions. Is it good sign because you understand everything and you like it? Or it's a bad sign because you missed it and you even don't know that it exists. So
well, it would be bad because the team spent so many time on this. I just want to encourage everybody who plays with ScaleSCORE to at least to try this, because ScaleSCORE was developed like multi-dimensional system. And like every multi-dimensional system, it has different strategies to go up, let's say. It's like chess, right? Like playing chess. You can win by very many of strategies, and every person has his own strategy. There are persons who are maybe, let's say, high volume trader, and other persons are long-term holder, and these persons has naturally different strategies, and in order to find the right one, please play yourself with this simulator. The good thing about this is that the calculation of simulator is the same like calculation for your real ScaleSCORE. So it's not these are not different calculations. It's the same. Therefore, it's very precise. This is what I mean by the same. And also another good point is that you see your live ranking if you would change your ScaleSCORE in the simulator, your live position, right? According to the ScaleSCORE sorting, let's say. Therefore, please play with this. It will answer a lot of questions.
Good. And Stefan said that simulator works great. So it's a good sign that maybe that is why they don't have any questions. And by the way, speaking about the core utility of SCA, as Ralf mentioned, getting access to the guaranteed pool. So guys, don't forget to also use all these dimensions, when you build your ScaleSCORE. It's really important because it's not one dimension, is in some other cases when you just hold a bunch of tokens and get access, guaranteed access. So 6 dimensions, very fair system. Please play around in the simulator. And another small point, we are thinking of adding even more value to SCA holders with high ScaleSCORE by increasing the size of the private pools. You see already, we started from 50-50 balance between private pool and public pool. Now it's already more towards private pool, and then smaller for the public pool. And one more time, I'm sending in the live chat the link to the Google form, collecting your feedback. We are collecting your suggestions on how do you see the perfect balance between private pool and public pool size. And we will change it accordingly. Then Vansh and Stefan and Nikitos are asking about BSC. So XTM Torum token is available already on Binance Smart Chain, and soon Art Wallet will be also available on Binance Smart Chain. So do we have any plans to implement ScaleSCORE in Binance Smart Chain?
You mean ScaleSCORE?
Oh, I think he means SCA.
Yeah, I think both. Yeah, I think this is on the how can I say, on our roadmap, let's say on our multi-chain roadmap. We will definitely we are also in favor that we from the EVM compatible chains, that we have Binance Smart Chain quite on the priority. And as soon as we integrate it, we also integrate it from ScaleSCORE side, right, Stan?
Yes. So the point with, again, with this data, getting data from different blockchains is, it's indeed a problem. It's indeed a problem, but the good side is that Binance Smart Chain, Phantom, and some others blockchain, what we will very soon integrate, they have, fortunately, Etherscan-like systems to get together the data. And this is what we will use. So this is the most reliable system on the blockchain for now, on Ethereum blockchains, Etherscan-like system, very, very good blockchain data deliverer. And yes, because Binance Smart Chain has this data deliverer, we will very soon as we have Binance Smart Chain IDO, we will implement this, but maybe even sooner because of Tor, maybe even sooner. It's a good point. Let's take this to the backlog because indeed, once Storm is there, we need to look on this. Yeah.
And since we touched again the point of multi-chain and integration with other blockchains, so Suraj was commenting that in previous AMA, team announced that week before, team only got a message from our wallet to do IDO in Phantom, and Scaleswap team was able to do it. I mean, Phantom integration within a week, within a couple of days. So if it is so easy, then why we don't go for other chains? And then Abdul Kadir is also asking, how long does it take to integrate EVM compatible chains to ScaleSwap? And can you give us any clear dates of other integrations?
We should keep a bit of intrigue, right? not to say everything at once. Let's keep this small intrigue, but let's put it like this. It was very hard to develop a system where we can more easily integrate all of EVM blockchains. We have now the system, and it will take us less effort to integrate other EVM blockchains. But everything else, just stay tuned. I would leave it like this statement.
So guys, we are, to make it a bit clearer, we are working on it, and you will hear from us very soon. So please check our updates in Telegram group. You know, we are not sending their marketing bullshit and not annoying you with unimportant messages, only relevant announcements and only important updates. So please keep your eyes on our Telegram group announcements, and of course, subscribe to us in our social media channels. You can find all of them on the website. And Chino is asking, any updates for the Loyal is the new Brave token airdrop?
Maybe she means the NFT giveaway.
I think so.
So we have still, and yeah, this is a backlog item, which really should have done before earlier, but we had so many top priorities. We have from the Loyal is a new Brave giveaway. This was an old giveaway, and I think we did everything except for the part where we have, if I remember correctly, the 40,000 SCAR token split pot for early community members that registered originally and that did whitelisting tasks for the first 3 IDOs and also for our own IDO. And we have, let's say, the raw data for determining these split pot candidates. I hope this was meant by that question, but it's quite some effort to drill this down really, and to bring this together. As you can imagine, there are a lot of input files we need to handle. And at the moment, there were also very frequent IDOs, which is always a peak in terms of effort on our side. So therefore, if it's regarding the split pot, we will tackle that as soon as possible, but we need to have, let's say, our operational tasks like Arc Wallet IDO tomorrow is for sure our highest priority. But nevertheless, we will do that as soon as possible. And if the question was related more to our new NFT giveaway, also there, the new further announcements are upcoming, but we also don't want to mix that, let's say, from the focus too much. If we have tomorrow IDO, we are also focusing, we need to focusing on that also in the name of the project and in the interest of the project. That's very important that we don't mix up, let's say, communication too much with giveaways and stuff like this. So main priority is our operations and our IDOs, but right afterwards we have also still some post IDO tasks, but we will do that as soon as possible.
Thank you, Ralf. Nikita, thank you for compliments for our team. We are not finished yet, so please don't go away from this session. I will also ask other questions of yours in a couple of minutes. But since we touched the point about airdrops, Omar is asking, can you do some airdrop or some kind of bonus tokens or appreciation for diamond hands to appreciate people not selling? I'm in the top 15 because I'm not selling, but I have 0 financial benefits so far. What do you think of this?
Diamond hands comes a little bit from the NFT scene, right? Yeah, the diamond hands are the ones that are not selling. Paper hands are the ones that are selling quickly, you know. This is a little bit NFT slang. To keep the motivation high, it is something what we can brainstorm on to have a special motivation for our diamond hands. Let's say one part is for sure the influence on ScaleSCORE. So having diamond hands is having a positive influence on your ScaleSCORE, on guaranteed pool participation, etc. But we will brainstorm that, because we are anyway we plan the brainstorming session with all the proposals from the community, and we will take that also up if we can come up with a special motivation for the diamond hands.
Yeah, but just to add or to underline what Ralf said, because of your high rank and your ability to participate in every IDO, it's already, let's say, a bonus, right? of having diamond hands. It's also very important.
Yeah.
As you know, there are some limitations. You cannot drive. So there is a law of energy conservation in the universe. So you cannot really produce benefits and benefits and benefits. It's not possible. Then every project will just go down, right?
Milad was also asking, why at all do we have public pool? Why not to have a private pool only?
Right. This is also a little bit a technical question, you know. As a launchpad, we could be a closed circle of, I don't know, 2,000-3,000 people, but then we will never reach really global broad awareness. We will never reach a brand awareness. We will never be seen as the go-to launchpad. So therefore, we need to have that split between public and private, because public is also let's say, the entrance door. So if someone is going to the public pool but maybe missed it and he's seeing, oh, the private pool participants with ScaleSCORE, they get a guaranteed pool participation. So this is also the first step entering into the ScaleSwap ecosystem. And our plan is then to migrate or transform these public pool participants also to private pool participants. What's at the end also good if, let's say, for the SCA token for a healthy SCAR token, let's call it like this. And in general, it's just that we need also that excitement from the broad community for our IDOs. And this is only possible if we have also a public part. But we always try to make the private pool as attractive as possible and as big as possible. But if we have a low IDO amount of 100K that the project is giving us, we can't say we make 10K public pool. No one would participate, you know. It's either the value would be very low or the amount of seats is very, very small. So we need to be reasonable, but we will definitely always more honor the scale scorers and SCAR token holders. So, but leaving away public pools would not be strategically the right path in my point of view. We are still in a growth phase. We are not yet, let's say, the established IDO launchpad with track record of 50 IDOs. We're still in the path of growing also our awareness, our brand. And for this, the public pool has its mechanisms that are still important for us.
Let's think about public pool as a kind of freemium trial, right? It's a kind of trial. And it's okay. Just look on the Art Wallet IDO. The split of public and private pool is 70 to 30. So it's really low number.
Yeah.
Then the maximum allocation is much lower. And the probability to get into the public pool is also, let's say, pretty low. Therefore, I personally see public pool as kind of, yeah, freemium and just to try us without having big problems, without any issues. And then we hope to convert every public participant to also to private pool participant.
Because we should also not see, let's say, the new joiners or that we grow and have more scale scorers. I know there's it's getting more competition also for our community, but you can remember, or you need to think of also in this direction as an early backer and supporter of the ScaleSwap mission. You have always also benefits in ScaleSCORE because there are time dependent dimensions where no one can easily overtake you, let's say. And these time dependent dimensions, they have quite a high weight in the overall ScaleSCORE. So first of all, you have this benefit. And the second thing is that also it has a positive effect, let's say, on the quality and the number of highest quality projects that we are getting. Only if we are successful and growing and scaling, then we are interesting for the best projects. And last but not least, it has also an impact on the SCAR token, so also on the token that you are holding in your wallet. So therefore, don't fear competition. Everything that can grow ScaleSwap in terms of community awareness and also scale scorers, holders, is at the end positive for everyone in the whole ecosystem.
Thanks for elaborating on this, guys, in so details. Coming back to the simulator, Donny is asking or even suggesting, so as we got discussion about simulator, can we have project names instead of calling project 1, 2, 3, etc. in the simulator?
Yeah, we could, but it's a bit more complex, and we are thinking about this. I understand why he's asking so, because it's simpler for him to digest. But on the other hand, you can just think in your mind that project 1 is Aura, project 2 is Cyrus, and so on and so on.
So it does not matter the real chronology.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's
okay.
now at least as it is now, it's fixed to 7 projects, and it doesn't matter which 7 projects. I mean, we are not yet at 7 IDOs. We will come to this number. But once, for example, we have 10 IDOs, you can hold 7 of them, and you could have full ScaleSCORE in this dimension. And it doesn't matter which 7.
Yelena is asking, why does my ScaleSCORE differ from my simulated one? So I guess Yelena opened the simulator, added the numbers that she has, but the scores that she sees differ.
I guess that the main reason why is because Yelena probably does not hold enough external project tokens. This is the main reason, not $50 worth to the IDO price. We will update the naming on simulator on this dimension. It's a bit misleading now, indeed, because it accounts a number of tokens, but basically it's not number of tokens, but it's more, it should account this $50 worth of initial to the IDO price, right? So, for example, and because every project has different IDO price, we cannot unify this. This is a bit problematic, but we have plans to improve this. So my guess is Yelena does not hold enough project launch tokens. It's not $50 worth of these tokens. This is number one. And second, what I also saw at issues where people reported, they don't hold enough time, SCA tokens or LP tokens. They, for example, what I saw recently, one person asked, okay, why my time dimension of ScaleSCORE holding don't increase? But I looked and it was 4 days, and we start to account from 7 days. So I can just tell to you guys the strategy where you believe that you can, let's put it like this, buy and sell frequently before IDOs and have a good ScaleSCORE. This will not work out. Just to let you know, because I saw that some people try to run the strategy, but it will not work out. It will only work out if you buy a really high number of SCA token, really high, only then. But then you need to think that you are also, because we will host IDO very frequent, you cannot do this, let's say, weekly basis. It will stabilize this whole buying and selling story, to answer some previous questions.
Okay, let's go to other questions from the community. But meanwhile, I asked the community to participate in the poll that we just launched in the live chat. The poll is asking if you like this format of community talks with the founders, and would you like us to make it regular, and how regular, or you don't find it necessary? I see that only 7% so far said that it is not necessary. 93% of people think that it is useful, and right now they are voting if it should be every 2 weeks or once per month. So guys, share your opinion on this poll. And coming back to the questions, so Nikitos was asking about gaming startups in our pipeline, and a couple of other people were asking about the future pipeline, when to expect the next IDO. So guys, yeah, we hear your desire to get the gaming startups in our pipeline, and we already have one which is under incubation of ScaleSwap right now, CapsCoin, and we will be happy to tell you more about this startup. Really strong team and very solid project with some fundamental innovations in this space, gaming, metaverse, play to earn, NFT startup. But their IDO will be probably earliest at December, because the team is right now building the community, building the marketing, and MVP is 90% ready, will be released quite soon. We will share more with you quite shortly. Meanwhile, just guys, let me explain, since I'm working closely with the startup pipeline. I understand that you want gaming projects because a lot of gaming projects, they really skyrocket. And a lot of them skyrocket for the short term. And you know what? In ScaleSwap, we consider quality as #1 factor. And quality is a complex factor, yeah. We assess a lot of dimensions, a lot of aspects in these startups, starting from the team, business model, token model, token economy, cap table of VCs, etc., etc., etc. You know what? When we do due diligence, sometimes it is even more complex due diligence that some VC investors make, investing hundreds of thousands in these startups. And I tell you this, a lot of startups get surprised, but at the same time, why do we do this? Not because we do not want to provide you with the IDO every day or every second day. That's because we want to protect you from scammers or even low quality projects. We want to protect you from the teams that did not think over their project development, their token and product development for at least mid to long term. Because you know what? We analyzed some really super happy gaming startups during the last couple of months, and we decided to not to go with them for the IDO. And literally yesterday in the evening, I was analyzing their performance, and after skyrocketing for the first couple of weeks, their token is less right now than the IDO price. Again, I don't want to drop the names here. We also skipped some startups where we have seen red flags and so on and so forth. So believe me, our VC analyst team is working every day on the startup scouting, on analyzing incoming applications, and on calls with projects, evaluating projects, etc. every single day, including weekends. But the problem is that since the money is so cheap in the sector, there are so many startups that are raising now capital from VCs and launching IDOs with a lot of hype, with a lot of marketing, but with a very small inner sense and very small probability to succeed even in the mid-term. I don't think that you want us to be the same, to become like-minded, yeah, and to accept hypey projects with the high risk of regulatory issues afterwards, or just the losses if you hold them long-term. So please get patient, and if you see some early stage startups that you think have potential, if you think that the team is great, the project is great, and you want them on ScaleSwap, first of all, don't hesitate to tell these startups, share in their chats, in their channels, in their social media channels, share about ScaleSwap and tell them, guys, go to ScaleSwap, apply, because you're a great match. And second, of course, you know, I'm always reading, maybe with some delay, but reading your messages in Telegram. Both Stan and Ralf, they are also very responsive. So share it with us, share in Telegram groups, in private messages or whatever. Give us the reference, give us the startups, and our team will definitely research it, contact them, and evaluate. I know that quite some of the community members already are doing this very proactively. Thanks for these guys. And if others want to help us, welcome to do this. I hope it answered your question, Nikitas and others guys. And if Ralf and Stan want to add something here, please go on.
I'm fully 100% with you. This is also a little bit the special way ScaleSwap is going. We are standing a little bit for different values than most of our competitors. And as you said, the criteria, we are extremely bullish still in the NFT space also, because you know, games they are also a little bit cyclic, you know. Sometimes they are very hyped and it goes again down. But if you believe, how many games will survive if you look back in 2 years? What do you think? Do you think, we launched already, I don't know, 200 play to earn games. How many will effectively have a huge community, will have a huge number of players and adoption? How many? You know, for sure not 1,000, and I'm pretty sure that 1,000 of these games are launched in the next months, and only a few of them will be really successful. The projects we focused so far, Cyrus, a real innovator in big data and monetizing big data on the blockchain. Ore, a real differentiator on a so-called 1.1 layer protocol for central and universal identity management, really needed by the market. If we have a look at Envelope, really unique technology that is used already by a lot of other projects, where you can wrap, collateralize, make a time capsule out of an NFT. You know, this is real innovation. This will be used actively by the projects. You know, and we are fully convinced. If you look back in 2 years, these are the projects that succeed. You know, no matter if after IDO they jump to 100x, then they'll go down to 1x or to whatever x. We are not too interested in this. We are very honest with you. We are not too focused on this. Our IDOs can go away with 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x. For us, it's important what happens after half a year, 1 year, 2 years. And this is our target, that we supported the launch of real innovation. And only with these kind of projects, and also Art Wallet is exactly in the same space, you know. This is a complete new way of by far more than a wallet, you know. It's not, it was the beginning with Art Wallet. We had also a discussion about this, but it has a huge potential to transform how the NFT collectors can really get broad mass adoption with such a universal NFT enabled and metaverse enabled wallet. These are the projects we love, you know, and these are the projects you will also see in future. But we don't close our eyes and say gaming is not good. You know, if a good gaming project comes, but they need to go through the whole due diligence process, you know, and it's pretty tough. At Scaleswap, we had a lot of candidates where we simply said, no, the quality is not there, or other factors simply did not match. So we are pretty rigorous in our selection process, but what we can fully assure you that you can always expect our best efforts to have the best quality projects, where we see the real future and the real innovation.
Good.
Very short, where you later can also decide on, right? Because this is very important part. Let's say by due diligence, so what you speak, Ralf, about, we mean rather a kind of pre-selection for you, like using our experience and background to pre-select something. But of course, the direction is you decide what is launched on Scaleswap. This is the goal of our DAO.
Yeah, absolutely.
And by the way, there were quite some people asking about when will be the next IDO, if it will be in November, etc. So guys, we will release the new community voting for the fresh pipeline quite soon, in a few days. So please stay tuned and help us to decide with the new upcoming IDOs. Somehow I can't get at the very beginning of our chat, maybe because of YouTube settings or whatever. But there were also questions about our marketing plan and marketing strategy. So Stan, Ralf, who wants to elaborate on this?
Marketing. Yeah, Marketing is a nice word. We are working on this very hard. I mean, we have let's to be frank with you, Ralf, Nelli, myself, we are long-term entrepreneurs, and always we experienced that marketing is one of the hardest, maybe the hardest thing on every project. Because technology is everything clear, it needs to work, but it's deterministic somehow. Marketing is non-deterministic system. It's really hard to understand how to drive this, how what are the best strategies. Sometimes you need to invent this on the fly. We are working on this. We are putting a team together which will also work on this, supporting us. Ralf, I do not want let's say tell more than this, because it's better to tell less, deliver more later.
Exactly. We need to be very honest, we are not yet there where we want to be in marketing. We know that, and we take also according measurements now in the next weeks and months. And we will definitely update our highly valued community about what's happening also in marketing. But yeah, we will increase, let's say, the tension over time.
Yeah.
And maybe just a small input from my side as well. So one thing, guys, by the way, we are hiring, and we will also post the vacancy description in our channel. Usually we use LinkedIn HR job posting to seek for candidates, and plus we are of course asking the network and different communities. So if great people who want to contribute in marketing part of ScaleSwap, or maybe one of you is this person, we will be happy to discuss. So again, stay tuned for the updates from our side, because definitely we will post this message about hiring both in our LinkedIn page and in our Telegram group. And another thing, we are also right now activating our KOLs and influencers networks. So hope it will work well. But again, let's see, because marketing, that it's a complex thing, and we know our weaknesses here, and we work right now heavily, very, very hard. Every single day, each of us, each of the board members thinks of the marketing and does something in that direction. Yeah, and I see, guys, you leave your comments regarding the gaming sector, gaming industry, and also bear market, etc. Thanks a lot for your comments. As I promised, I will copy all these comments and keep it in our community feedback file to review later. So it's already 1.5 hours. We are having this community talk, and as the result of the community poll, so I see that majority of people, 95%, think that this is really valuable format and we should continue as it is. Half of the people think that we should do it every 2 weeks, and half of the people think that it should be the monthly format. So guys, since there is no much difference in your opinions, we will see how often we will make it, but I think it's definitely, and Ralf and Stan will agree with me, we will definitely continue doing these community talks.
Sure.
Yeah, sure,
right?
Definitely. Of course,
Right.
It's very, very important for us. Maybe even just thinking out loudly, some point, maybe even more interactive, right? Who knows?
Good.
If the technology allows.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and maybe the last question, because Suraj is asking about DEX. So ScaleSwap will be only IDO platform, but in future we can hope that it will expand to something like DEX, etc.
Let us put it like this, that on our plan, is it that we are not offering IDO services only. So there will be other services or solutions coming, and we're also already working on this. So
let's put this as intrigue, right? I mean, we need to keep something, and it will come
absolutely
in the very next, not days, but weeks. We will come with a technological and roadmap and feature and product, even product roadmap, and what Ralf anticipated. Yeah, can agree to this. We are not stopping at ScaleSwap, definitely.
no. So we can expect a lot in the coming weeks, months, and years from ScaleSCORE.
It sounds really intriguing and very exciting. And just a short message from us to the community. Guys, as we say it about the startups, the same we want to ask our community. First of all, we are very grateful for your real support and understanding. And we feel it and we know it, that you want to ScaleSwap to succeed. And not only because of the commercial reasons, because you hold tokens and want them to do some X, yeah. We feel that you really appreciate what we are building, the quality work we want to bring on the market, this quality approach that we stand for. And we really, really want to say big thank you for this. And if you can also help us, speaking about marketing, for example. Yeah, guys, not necessarily this video, but we are doing a lot of AMA sessions, etc. If you can put like and share it in your social media, if you can spread the word about ScaleSwap, so it's a way more important. It is a small action that takes a couple of seconds of your time, but creates more effect than any kind of big marketing campaigns, KOLs, and etc. If you can help us to spread the word and increase this awareness about ScaleSwap on the market, leave comments. There are so many discussions in Twitter, for example. What is your favorite platform? What is your favorite token? If you can drop the ScaleSwap name and company name here, yeah. If you can inform the new upcoming startups that you observe about ScaleSwap and that they should apply, that would be amazing. That would be the priceless help that you can provide for our project to ensure that we really succeed and stand on two feet on the ground very strongly. So thank you very much for everyone. I think in order not to make you annoyed, we should finish now the session. Moreover, we need to go and prepare for Art Wallet IDO. I hope that all of you will participate there tomorrow. And Stan, Ralf, do you want to say something to our community?
Guys, thank you for being with us. It's very important for us to see your support because it shows us that we are going in the right direction. And I believe together as a DAO, we will make a big success out of our ecosystem.
What is now left on my side, you know, after these words from you, Nelli and Stan, I can also only say thank you very much for your continuous support, for your ideas, for your contribution. And we will definitely do our best, let's say, to pay back with best services, best projects, best innovations. to the best what we can. So really looking forward. A lot of very exciting things will happen in the next weeks and months, and we are really looking forward to go that way together with all of you.
Thank you guys, and thank you everyone. Have a nice evening, day, morning, whatever time zone you are in, and thank you for being with